interesting. Capitalism, when they can't get their homegrown slave to be slaves anymore, they'll ship them in from other countries, the capitalist country. And that group will be subservient enough, docile enough to do the work now. They won't mind being worked to death and to have their lives dominated by work. So this is kind of the process of capitalism. When they run out of markets in one place, they venture into other ones. And the noticeable part, the noticeable part of it all is that people are forced into these lives where they get a job, they do that job for most of their time. It takes up most of the time in their daily lives. Maybe they'll get a house, maybe they'll get a car, maybe they'll have a relationship. All of their time is devoted to that job so that they can have those things. And it's not until they're old and infirm that they can stop working. But all that they've ever known was that job. And the jobs encourage the showboating, the self-importance. People, when they're young, they love to do that. They love to feel important. And people who are older, some of them still do it in their 50s and 60s. And that's what is considered important. That's what's considered significant. And it absolutely is not. Nobody's time can be devoted to that and still, and they can't put their energy and time into that and also be able to venture into something deeper that has actual meaning and value. So by the time they're old, they have nothing, inwardly and in some cases outwardly. It's a tragic existence that's unnecessary. We have the resources, we have the technology for people to live good lives, and yet we don't do it. We put it into making more and more profits for those who already have more than enough, and to deplete people who need more. What's noticeable is that people don't want to talk about things like this. It's very tiring to people, even though it actually is getting at the heart of the matter and could solve it for everyone. Instead, they want to keep talking about things that are basically futile, that you just talk about over and over again. Things about politics that will never get resolved. We'll just keep spinning our wheels. But it's exciting, and it gives the illusion that something is happening. But the things that you can talk about or explore that actually get to the heart of the matter, these things are boring to people. They'd rather talk about the things that are completely shallow or that are futile and have us spinning our wheels. It should be said that nobody escapes this domination of one thing in our lives. It's either survival, so that you're struggling to survive, which is what happens to the poverty-stricken, or it's the domination of the job just to pay for the things that you think are giving you a good life. They do give a certain amount of a good life, but it's completely dependent on this going to work day after day, concentrating almost all of your existence on something that amounts to slavery, although you're getting paid, but you have no choice but to do it. And you can get your ego involved and make it seem better. But either way, everybody's lives are devoted to this one thing. Struggle. In a nutshell, our lives are squandered.